So I keep seeing these comments about Trump. It's Trump this, Trump keeps supporting this. Look, either you're just haters, okay, and that's very possible, because that other side are haters. They are very much stone cold hearts. There is not one man responsible for this. It is our fault. This idea that you want to put everything on one man who was trying to tell the people the truth, was telling you fake news, was waking you up to it, and yet you want to hang your hat on he still supports the vaccine. What was the vaccine? Or better yet, what was the virus? The virus was the people not thinking, okay? It's the people not thinking, the people blindly believing the science, because I've been told over and over again to trust the science. I have to trust this. I'm supposed to trust the science. They're the experts. That's on you and I. So there's I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Unless the people themselves want to take responsibility for thinking for themselves and not just blindly believing what everybody tells you, no matter how expert they are, even though they use that word expert so that they could get you into that mind control where you're mindless and you just follow, you eat what you're told, you're fed that and you take it and that's what you believe. The true vaccine is people have to wake up. So yeah, he's going to support that. Because that is your cure to every virus, every disease there is waking up. Do you not think that Operation Warp Speed was about waking people, coming to their senses, waking up? And yet I still see people say, oh, he's trusting the vax. That's because you're still in the mindset of the mainstream media. You didn't think a long time ago about how Trump doesn't support those, so why would he be saying this? You didn't. Those things were meant for you to start thinking. Yeah, for you to start thinking, for you to realize we're all responsible for that. We are. We're responsible for where our country is. We're responsible for those three-letter agencies that have no power, but yet run around the country and wield that power. And much of that power that's given to them is by Congress. That's why I trust none of them in Congress or the House. None. How anybody could trust any of these politicians at this point is really beyond me. I don't get it. I don't know how many times you have to be screwed over by them. No matter how much they do that's good, they're gonna stab you in the back because that's what they're scorpions. We are not operating under our Constitution. When you come awake to that, then you realize that these agencies have been given all this power. And it is up to us to speak up against these narratives. And I don't believe that the vaccine that you keep wanting to lay at Trump's feet, that falls on every person's decision. That's a decision. You can't say, well, I took this because I believed him. I mean, you could say it, but you took it because you decided to take it. If you didn't take it, you didn't take it because you decided to not take it. But to say it's his fault is totally juvenile. It is. It's juvenile. It really is, because first of all, you're putting these powers on that role of president that really the president doesn't have. Okay? There's a reason why he talked about the blue ribbon committees and like Operation Warp Speed is very much why was the military involved in it? Hello? Like, didn't you ever stop to think about that? Like, why is the military involved in Operation Warp Speed when it's about a virus? There were so many telltale signs that should have told you. So at this point, even if he does come out and say he supports it, can you not see what he's really talking about? Because how do you really stop this problem, this disease, this true virus, which is mindlessness, heartlessness? How do you stop that? Well, you need the people to stop listening to the media. and start thinking for themselves. So the vaccine that Trump supports is the vaccine of wake up. Wake up. You have been being lied to. I've been trying to tell you. You don't want to hear it. And I'm talking about his supporters. The haters will always hate. They just hate. They love to hate. That's what they love, is hating. But I'm talking about his supporters. He told you for 3 years when he got in, from the very get-go, over and over again, over and over, almost every press conference, to the point where some of us got tired. It's like he keeps repeating it because he's trying to tell you that's how important it is. Because when you realize, no, they're lying to you, it means you should stop trusting them. And yet people that supported him, yeah, they went to take it. And you want to say that it's his fault. How can you put all of that on one person? That's all the science too. And really, the true vaccine that is needed so that all of this ends is the vaccine of being awake, of really not even awake, thinking for yourself, saying, no, I don't need experts to make my decisions for me. I don't need Congress. I don't need HHS. I don't need the State Department. I don't need any of these people to make my decisions for me. I can do it myself. I don't even need President Trump to tell me. But there's a lot of haters out there that will, at all costs, take him down. I think that's obvious by now because of all the hate at him. And you can keep hanging your hat on he supports the vaccine. But if you go back and you do thinking, and you really are thinking, and you know that his tweets back in 2013, he was talking about not supporting those, like so many of them. For kids, he was trying to tell people even before he ran. So put it together. You have to put it together. I'm not the first person to say some of this stuff. So you can keep trying to hang it on him, but ultimately, the fall of the country, it lies at our feet. It does. If you took it and you regret it, it lies at your feet. It was a choice you had. God gave you free will for a reason, so that you exercised it. Now, maybe you didn't want to exercise it because you wanted the paycheck, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you exercised it. I'm not shaming you. I'm not saying, bad you, because the same people that exercised not to take it, they did the same thing. You were given free will. So to continue on this bandwagon of Trump, yes, what does Trump support? He doesn't support being a tyrant over people. He gave control to the states, which is the way our Constitution is built. But because there's all those layers of agencies, not just the 3-letter ones, but all of them, DHS, CDC, all of them, they have been calling the shots. And he tried to tell people. So do the opposite. He's trying to work for the people. The people wanted a vaccine, right? I mean, there was a lot of us that didn't. But there was still too many people that were petrified. They were made afraid, and they were made mindless by the mainstream media, because you've been mindless for a long time. It blows my mind that people are buying into that China bullshit. It really does. I'm not saying that they're not a communist country, whatever they are. But what I'm trying to say is that that's such an easy way to scapegoat another country, because then you won't look within your own for the enemy. And that's the one that's in your own country is the one you need to worry about. And it's all your 3-letter agencies. If they love the country, if they love America, they should leave their positions, don't you think? They never will. Because most of them sold out for money, proving the Bible. So you can't blame one man for everything. You can't blame anybody for what choices you made. Trump spent 3 years trying to wake people up. And a bunch of people chose to just hate him. And a bunch of people still wanted to stay mindless by just believing in the old mainstream media's narrative. The true vaccine is realizing, no, you are your own vaccine. Your mind waking up and thinking for itself is the way this all turns around.